I'm Nancy Imhoff, and I am the Director of Development at the O'Connor House. And the O'Connor House, the mission is to provide a loving Christian home for homeless, young, pregnant women who really have no resources or support system. And when they come to us, they're able to stay at the O'Connor House for 18 months, and that can vary a little bit depending upon their individual circumstance. And we really, the majority of what we do is to provide, first and foremost, the love of Christ and let them feel that unconditional love. We like to say that we provide help, healing, and hope. You know, the help really in providing a secure environment so that they have a place to stay, they have a safe place to bring their child into the world. They don't have to worry about if they're going to be able to have a roof over their head. And then after that, we say we like to provide healing, because so many of our young women come from very difficult circumstances and they have a bit of brokenness in their background. And so really to move forward, that healing component is so important. And then we like to say we bring hope for a brighter future to these young women and really help them to plan on the next stage and becoming independent and becoming a good parent. And so that hope comes through the programming at the O'Connor House. And that programming consists of the women having 40 hours of productivity during the week. And we love that because it builds confidence. It builds the ability to have some structure in their life as they move forward. And that productivity can be doctor's office appointments, it can be work, it can be schooling, it can be their life skill classes, their counseling. It really is just giving them a little bit of a structure to their day. And so through that programming, they're really developing skills that will help them to become independent.
They also have a mentoring program, and can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So the program at the O'Connor House has been so amazing, and one of the areas that we, through research and through experience, and the O'Connor House is now in its 12th year, so we've really learned, I think, along the way, what are the critical components and resources to helping these women to really become independent. And one of those resources that is so necessary and often lacking in their lives is that support structure, and really that extra network of someone that they can rely on to help them implement their goals and help them to reach their goals. And we this year, this summer, we were so excited and we launched a formal mentoring program. And we're now in our eighth month of the mentoring program, and each of the young women are paired with a mentor, and there's a thorough training that both the mentors and the mentees take a part of. And then there's training throughout their 12-month program where they learn new skills. One that we just had was called Change Anything, where you really learn how to make a lasting change and the modality of behavior that you have to be able to make that change. And it was such a positive experience, and the women were so excited, and they're like sponges taking in this new information. So that mentoring program is really a key component. And then as we progress, we're so excited that we're going to be able to parlay that into an alumni program. So once the women leave the O'Connor House, they'll have the ability to continue on with a mentor and continue to have a little bit of that support. So yeah, we're very excited.
So when a resident leaves, they have all the support, including counseling and the mentoring. What's their exit plan look like, and how do we get them to the next step to help them continue to be successful?
Yeah. So when a resident from the O'Connor House is ready to leave, it really is individual depending upon their circumstances, where they are, if they're pursuing further education, if they have a job that they're already, well on their way and have been able to save money at the O'Connor House to go into that apartment. However, we have noticed that in some of our women, there's a gap. It's hard to get into low-income housing, and we're so excited for a new collaborative partnership with the Butterfly House, which they're going to be able to provide that next step of transition for some of the women that leave the O'Connor House.
Okay, great, Nancy. Well, we appreciate it. If we wanted to learn more about the O'Connor House, where do we go? What would you suggest?
Yeah. If you'd like to learn more about the O'Connor House, we would love people to check out our website at www.theoconnorhouse.org. And there's also folks at the O'Connor House that you could call directly. Susan Barrett is the house director. Myself, as the development director, would be happy to connect with anybody who'd like to learn more about the O'Connor House.
Is there volunteer opportunities at the O'Connor House?
We have a very strong volunteer program. We often say that we just could not do what we do without the support of the community, and the community has been really such a blessing to the O'Connor House. So we have a formal volunteer program. We actually have over 200 active volunteers, and on any given week we can have 50 to 70 volunteers within the house. And that can be anything from driving to sorting donations, to babysitting, to service projects around the house, administrative work. So really we love to tap into what people's individual gifts are. So there's a lot of opportunity to volunteer, and really that's the heart of what we do. We have a small staff, but we have lots of loving volunteers that surround us.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for sharing your wisdom about the O'Connor House. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Was that enough? Is it?